Right.
My question for you is, who has more pressure to reach the Super Bowl now? Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens or Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Great question. I'm going Lamar Jackson and Baltimore Ravens because they are automatically Super Bowl. They've been Super Bowl contenders maybe for like the last 4 or 5 years. And this even enhanced them being Super Bowl contenders, probably over Buffalo. But as far as the Tomlin, no one's expecting the Steelers to do anything. What a 61-year-old Aaron Rodgers, no one's expecting him to do anything.
If he's 61, you're 63. So let's start there.
But no, listen. Aaron Rodgers is not the final piece they needed to put them over the hump to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had weapons for the Jets. He had his guy Devontae back, and he got his coordinator back. He got the coach fired, right? And he had a worse year than
Zach Wilson.
And Zach Wilson was 100% ass cheese.
Yeah.
So, and he was healthy. So, healthy Aaron Rodgers in a division, playing the Browns twice, Bengals twice, Ravens twice. Right. Yeah. Hell no. So, I think they're going to have a losing season, and I don't think they're not better than the Bengals.
Nah.
They may be fighting. They're going to be fighting for the Browns for the last place.
Okay.
That's it.
Great take.
But yeah. So, I'm going with
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens.
Because they already are proven to be a Super Bowl contending team.
Yes, they are.
They have the pieces and everything. Yeah. I'm going to actually go with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow, more pressure to win a Super Bowl than the Ravens.
I think so because Tomlin, it starts with the head of the snake.
Yes.
Mike Tomlin, he has his Super Bowl ring. Cool, kudos. But, all these seasons of people calling him one of the greatest coaches in the league, saying he's such he connects well with his players. He's a people person. The Rooney family, they love him.
Yeah.
But he has this barely above average season.
He does.
Season after season.
Yeah.
And they're always first round knockouts. And this guy's supposed to be one of the greatest coaches in the league. Not only that, they always, just kind of similar to Baltimore, always have one of the top 5 defensive in the league.
They do.
You have TJ Watt. Now you have Jalen Ramsey. You have Cam Hayward.
Wow.
Like you have an amazing defense. You have some veteran leadership in Slay and Ramsey now.
Yeah.
Like you have the one safety, I forgot his name, from the Browns that they got. They have an amazing their defense you can put their defense on the Chiefs, they're winning the Super Bowl. You could put their defense on a number of teams and they're going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. So they have the defense, they have the coach who's held up to this standard, but then they get some pieces in Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers, he has one Super Bowl, and he's called a lot by one of the greatest throwers in the league, but he only has one Super Bowl that came his second year starting. That was many ages ago at this point. He has the fact that he has something to prove. I think that adds to the pressure of Mike Tomlin as well. Y'all always have a defense. Okay, y'all get a quarterback who's won a Super Bowl. He had to fall off these past few years, but I don't know. We can still throw the ball. Y'all get DK Metcalf, top receiver in the league. You know what I'm saying? You got great tight ends. Like you have weapons now. You have what you need. You already had the defense. Okay, you went through all this to get Aaron Rodgers. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, did George Pickens' release go have something to do with them getting Aaron Rodgers? I don't know.
I don't know if it did or not, but it could have been. He's so arrogant and pompous, Aaron Rodgers. You never know.
They passed up on every quarterback in the draft, including Shedeur Sanders, to get Aaron Rodgers. So they obviously feel good about having Aaron Rodgers.
They had a 6-hour meeting with him, and they probably told him, listen, just go, because it was no news. But when you talked about it, I said, they probably just told him, hey, man, we're going to sign you. Don't worry about the noise. When I go draft the QB, we'll sign you back in whatever they got signed in last month or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So they went through all this, so they obviously have high hopes about the dude. I think it's just been too long. At least Baltimore has got to the divisional round.
Right.
They 2 years ago, they lost in the AFC Championship, right, to the Chiefs. At least they've gotten there. We know they need to be at the Super Bowl at this point, but I just think that the Steelers collectively have more to prove because they've been so subpar for so long.
What has Aaron Rodgers showed you that he could be ready to take the Steelers to the Super Bowl?
Nothing recently, but the Steelers feel opposite is what I'm saying. I haven't seen it, but we've seen it at one point. That's all I'm saying.
I think Aaron Rodgers is like Kevin Durant to me. I have him in overrated athletes. Kevin Durant, OKC, he by himself he can't lead anything, right? OKC, Brooklyn,
right?
He messed up. He effed up my Phoenix Suns. Now in Houston, and then he hit 1 or 2 rings with Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and Golden State.
Yeah.
Like you said, Aaron Rodgers, one ring all these years. Mike Tomlin, 1 ring. I compare Mike Tomlin to Mike McCarthy, and people was trying to take my black card from me.
No, they both got 1 ring.
That's what I'm saying. With a lot of talent, they had 1 ring, so they're not that far apart.
Right.
Like you said about Tomlin, and they keep saying he hasn't had a losing season,
barely,
but they not all 15-2 and 14. No, man, we talking about 8-8, 9-8.
Yeah,
stop it.
Yeah, and I just think it's because it's the head coach and because they've been so subpar for so long and they always first round exits. I think it's more pressure, and they went through so much to get Aaron Rodgers instead of drafting Shador or picking up, or even I thought they should have kept Justin Fields.
Yeah,
if you want to be honest,
I'm not big on Fields, but you did say that before. Yeah,
I thought they should have kept Justin. I'm just saying, it's so much more they could have done besides going all in on Aaron Rodgers, who said this is his last season. So, I mean, if they're betting the house on Aaron Rodgers, they just got DK Metcalf, they just paid Jalen Ramsey, for them to do that and still be at the same subpar level would be an embarrassment.
Yeah. And let the losing start, like at the end or whatever, like in the middle, whatever the losing going to start, because they'll lose a few games.
Yeah.
And we're going to
have a tough schedule.
We'll see how they're going to handle the things. You know, we know how Aaron Rodgers will act in the press conference. You know, may throw some teammates on the bus, may throw some shots. But I want to see how him and Tomlin are going to be acting when it comes. They face some adversity.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I want to see, because when Aaron did good, as that famous clip that went viral, he was coming off I think he scored a touchdown or something, and Coach Salo was coming to hug him, and he pushed him off, and he didn't even smile.
No, he was serious.
Push Tomlin off.
And you know, the Pittsburgh faithful, you know, they're not really a loud, obnoxious fan base like the Eagles.
They're a bunch of quiet idiots.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers fans are a bunch of quiet idiots.
So, you know, I don't think they would take to kind of Aaron Rodgers kind of showing his ass like that. It's going to be interesting. Them two kind of, like you said, once things start going left, shit start hitting the fan. I'd like to see how they interact.
And I can say that because I'm a Cowboys fan and we have a history of kicking the Steelers' ass. I mean, we beat them in the Super Bowl.
And we have always beaten the Steelers at Philadelphia, my Eagles.
Well, y'all games are second to ours. We beat them in the Super Bowl.
Okay, that's what's up.
I asked LeVon Kirkland about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's shift back to Lamar. Enough about the Steelers. Let's go to Lamar.
Okay.
Another season, disappointing loss in the playoffs. What does Lamar this season have to do in the postseason? What does he at least have to do this year in the postseason to get some pressure off of him?